We have two types of units that we're going to be talking about. On your formula sheet, because a lot of y'all are getting into this. On your formula sheet, we have two types of changing units. We have the metric, and then we have what I call the something-somethings. The something-somethings. So we have the metric and we have the something-somethings. Why isn't that coming on? Little something-something, right here's the something-somethings. So when you look at a problem, you have to determine, is it a metric or is it a something-something? So let me add a page and let's talk about how we figure out, is it a metric or is it a something-something? So we need to spend a minute determining what kind of problem it is. So this is on your formula sheet. This is what I call King Henry. Okay? King Henry, how did King Henry die? By drinking chocolate milk. I use King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk because this is our basic unit. Now, when I used to teach public school, I told them, I said, y'all, come up with this cooperative crap. Come up with your own sentence. And I had one student come back and said, King Harry died by doing cocaine Monday. So from then on, we decided that King Henry was going to die by drinking chocolate milk. We did no more come up with your own sentences. So this helped me memorize. So if I come around to you, I'll say, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. These are our basic units. These are the meter, the liter, and the gram. And you need to understand what meter, liter, and gram means. If you go overseas, the meter is how they measure length. You've seen teachers walk around with a meter stick, a yardstick. Okay, it's a wooden stick that comes up to my waist. Not everybody's my height, so you got to know kind of where. A meter stick is the distance from the doorknob to the floor. So think about where a doorknob comes to you. That's the doorknob to the floor. That's a meter. A liter is how they measure liquid. So a liter of Pepsi. We all know about a 2 liter, so a liter is going to be half of that. You can even go to the gas station now and get a liter of drink. A gram, hopefully we have only watched this on Cops. A gram of cocaine is how much something weighs. So a gram is equivalent to the weight of a paper clip. So if somebody has 1 gram of drugs, that is equivalent to holding 1 paper clip. So it's really not a lot in weight, but it can get you a lot of time. Okay? So, the word kilo stands for 1,000. So if you have a kilometer, kiloliter, or kilogram, that means you have 1,000 meter sticks, 1,000 liters of Pepsi, or 1,000 grams. So 1,000 meters means I would take 1,000 of those sticks and lay them down. 1,000 liters means I would drink 1,000 liters of Pepsi. 1,000 grams, a weight of 1,000 paper clips. So if somebody has a kilo of marijuana, that would be the weight of 1,000 paper clips. That's about 2 pounds. Okay? Hecto, so this was kilo, this is hecto. That means 100. This meant 1,000. So a hectometer, hectoliter, hectogram. 100 meters, 100 liters, or 100 grams. So 100 meter sticks, 100 liters of Pepsi, or 100 paper clips. This is deca, and this is deci. Notice that we have 2 D's. The deca is near the K. The deci is near the C. That's how I keep them straight. Deca is abbreviated DA. Deci is just abbreviated D. So deca would be DAM, DAL, DAG. So decameter, decaliter, decagram. This stands for 10. So 10 meters, 10 liters, 10 grams. 10 meter sticks, 10 liters of Pepsi, 10 paper clips. This means 1. 1 meter, 1 liter, 1 gram. This is deciliter, a decimeter, deciliter, decigram. So this stands for 1/10. So if I took a meter stick and I cut it into 10 parts, a decimeter would be 1/10 of a meter stick. If I took a liter of Pepsi and I dumped it into 12 equal cups, a deciliter would be 1 big gulp. A decigram would be if I took a paper clip and I cut it into 10 equal pieces, the weight of 1/10 of a paper clip. Okay, centimeter. We have centimeter, centiliter, centigram. So this is centi. That's going to be 1/100. So if I take that meter stick and I divide it into 100 pieces, okay? So a centimeter, we've all seen rulers that have these little lines on them. That's 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter is about the width of your pinky. That's about a centimeter. Now I know some of us have chubby fingers, some of us got C, but about the average pinky, that's the width of a centimeter. Centiliter. So if you take a liter of Pepsi and you divide it into 100 glasses, that's about a shot glass, okay? A centigram, you take a paper clip, you spread it out, and you cut it into 100 pieces. Not much at all. Now, the last one is millimeter. 1/1000. So this is milli. M-I-L-L-I. Millimeter, milliliter, milligram. So a millimeter, if you go in there with those tiny baby lines, that's a millimeter. So if I take a dime, if this is a dime, that is a millimeter. Those of us who use mechanical pencils, it says 0.9 millimeters or 0.7 millimeters. So the width, how thick that lead is, that's about a millimeter. It says 0.9 mm, that stands for millimeters. So a millimeter is not much at all. It's tiny. A milliliter, those of you who have kids, that little thing, that little syringe thing that you suck medicine up and in their mouth, that's in terms of mLs, milliliters. If you don't have kids and you take NyQuil, the little cap that goes on the top that you pour it in, and that's in terms of mLs, milliliters. Milligrams, that's about the weight of a piece of sand. Because you're taking a paper clip and you're cutting it into 1,000 pieces. And you're saying, how much does that weigh? None. All right, so Alex wants you to do all kinds of craziness, y'all. Here's how easy it is. If I have 5.2 centigrams and I want to turn it into decagrams, you start with centigram and you go to decagram. You move 1, 2, 3 jumps to the left. You pick your decimal up and you move it 1, 2, 3 jumps to the left, Simon says. 0.0052. That's it. Now, the only thing that's going to complicate you, I have people that get millimeter and meter confused. I always tell people, all the single ladies, dance in the middle of the dance floor. So if you're a single letter, you're in the middle of the dance floor. If you doubles and triples, you off to the side. So a meter is in the middle, a millimeter is off to the side. So what if I gave you 72 meters equals how many millimeters? Meters is a single lady. Millimeters is here. How many jumps did I jump in which way?
To the right.
1, 2, 3. Who knew that Beyonce? To the left, to the left, to the left. She was talking about converting units. Who knew? This time we're doing to the right, to the right, to the right. So we're going to move our decimal 3 times to the right. What if it doesn't have a decimal? Where is it?
In the front.
If you have $72
In the back.
Oh, in the back.
in the back, so we have $72 and we're moving it to the right, to the right, to the right. So it's going to be 72,000. That's it.
So do you always move 3 fingers to the left or the right?
No. What if I was going from, what if I had 4.2 kiloliters and I want to turn it into hectoliters? How many which way? Kilo to hecto.
1 to the right.
1 to the right. My answer would be 72. We're going from kilo
Milliliters.
to hectoliters. 1 to the right.
So it depends on where you
Where
at
you
on the
starting
scale.
and where you going.
Where you going, gotcha.
So this is called the King Henry. Now, your other is going to be called, let's say I want to convert 24 ounces into pounds. If it's not meter, liter, or gram, you can't do King Henry. King Henry is only for meters, liters, and grams. Everything else is a little something. So we're going to do 24 ounces times something over something. Ounces are going to go down here, and what you're trying to find is going to go on the top. You always want these two to match so they'll cancel. Now, this is the something that you want to find on your formula sheet. So we come over here, we look all over the formula sheet, and look right there. There it is. Whoop, there it is, right there. You're going to put 1 beside the pound and 16 beside the ounce. Do you see that you have a number in the top and a number in the bottom? That means you're going to do 24 divided by 16 to get your answer. Now, what if I would have said 5 pounds equals how many ounces? For that problem, you would have said 5 pounds times, since your pounds are in the top, what would you put in the bottom?
Pound.
Pounds. I still would have used the same something, but pounds are in the bottom now. See how your numbers are both in the top? So you would do 5 times 16.
Come on.
So whatever your units are in the problem, that's your units in the bottom. Because you want those units to cancel.
So how do you determine again when you multiply, when you divide?
All of these somethings have a 1 in them. They have a 1 and then they have a number that's not 1. So when you fill in, you're going to have a 1 and then a number that's not 1. So if your numbers, if you have a number in the top and a number in the bottom, you're going to divide the two numbers. But if both of the numbers are in the top, you're going to multiply the numbers. So if I give you 52 pounds equals how many kilograms? I'm going to do 52 pounds times. What am I going to put down here?
Pound.
Pounds, and I'm going to put kilograms here. You with me? Because these units have to match these units so that I can cancel them. We good? So I come over here and I look for pounds and kilograms. Right here, I see my pounds and kilograms. 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. So 1 beside the kilogram,
So you're going to divide.
2.2 beside the pound.
You're going to divide.
So am I going to multiply or divide?
Divide. It's at the bottom.
I'm going to divide because it's at the bottom. I'm done unless you have questions. I'm going to divide because it's at the